Hello, Profit Hackers. I'm Jeremy Lott, the Chief Visionary for Foundation Accounting and Consulting. I owned a construction company for about 15 years before making a change to accounting because my accountant sucked. My goals are to simplify accounting for construction company owners, fuel your profits, level up your cash flow, and help you grow in a financially responsible way. So let's go. Hello, Profit Hackers, and welcome back to the Contractors Profit Hack Show. I'm Jeremy Lott with Foundation Accounting and Consulting. And today we're going to introduce a new topic. So the next step in our business alchemy process that we've introduced previously is creating a policy for your accounts payable and your cash disbursements, right? So you may say to yourself, well, why do I need to do that? What's the point of writing it down? What's the point of going to the effort of creating the process and then documenting it, right? Well, I've got a quick story to introduce the topic. I wrestled at BYU, as you well know by now, if you've been listening to any previous episodes of my podcast. I do mention once or twice, maybe, sarcasm, right, that I wrestled in college. I loved it. And my coach there was a man by the name of Mark Schultz. Mark Schultz was a 3-time NC2A champion. He was a 2-time world champion, and he was a gold medalist. And he also fought in UFC number 9 and won. And that's a story for a completely different day. It's a pretty awesome story. My coach was pretty awesome. But one of the things that he pushed was journaling before and after practice. So I got a journal, and it's like, okay, so I'm going through a wrestling practice, and we're trying different moves and doing different things. What do I even write in my journal? What do I even put in there? I mean, these are all physical moves. Am I going to like draw pictures or, get into a deep description about, where to put your hands or how to position your hips or, the answer is yes. That's exactly what you do. Something happens when you take something physical and you write it down and document it and draw pictures of it, right? It tends to cement more quickly in your mind. And so he had us, and there was a format. He was like, okay, these are the different types of takedowns, and now we need to go through all the different setups for each of those takedowns. So we had a section for each type of takedown, and then underneath that we had details on the different setups, and then we had details on the different finishes for those different types of takedowns. Anyway, long story short, several years later, I went in to do some jujitsu, which is the old lazy man's version of wrestling. I'm just kidding. I have mad respect for jujitsu and what they do. But I went in and I brought a journal with me, right? Because it's a martial art. I've learned that when you're doing these kind of things, you write it down. And it was funny because I came in with my journal and I sat down for the demonstration, had my journal open, and he said, "Oh yeah," the instructor, the sensei, turned to me. He said, "Oh yeah, you must have wrestled for Schultz. All of you Schultz guys use journals." So it was kind of funny to find out years later that many of my teammates were still doing the same thing, and that they had been participating in jiu-jitsu, which is fantastic and so much fun. Anyway, the whole point of that story is that it is important to write things down so that they can be remembered and so they can be repeated. Those are the two key things: to remember and to repeat, right? When you go through and you do something and it's great, but you can't repeat it, or you don't remember how you did it last time, then you're up a creek, right? Without a paddle. And so it's very important to write things down. And so that is the next thing that we do, is we take all of these things we've learned in the previous modules that we've gone through, with the budgeting, with the bidding, with the job costing, all of those things, the bill pay strategy, all of those things. We're going to now document the important parts in our AP and cash disbursements policy, right? And by doing so, we will be able to remember and repeat the things that we've learned. Okay? So, thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you guys next time. We're going to continue this conversation for a bit here on accounts payable and cash disbursements policy, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please like and subscribe for weekly episodes to help you fuel your profit, level up your cash flow, and finance your growth. Until next time, go enjoy some green M&Ms and protect that cash.